This playlist deals with some aspects of Eurocode 2 version 2023. This particular video will deals with an overview of the different topics that you can find in the new Eurocode 2. The title of the version 2004 was Design of Concrete Structures, Part 1.1, General Rules and Rules for Buildings. It was not very clear that all those rules were also applicable for instance, maritime structures or for bridges. This is now covered by the new title where they have added bridges and civil engineering structures. Now it is clear for everybody that Eurocode 2 Part 1.1 is also applicable for bridges and large infrastructural structures like dams. Eurocode 2 version 2023 replaces also, of course, now Eurocode 2 Part 2, which is bridges, and Eurocode 2 Part 3, which was liquid retaining and containment structures. So the new version of Eurocode 2 Part 1.1 groups the previous Eurocode 2 Part 1.1 together with Part 2 and 3. In the videos, we will use the abbreviations of Eurocode 2 2023 and Eurocode 2 2004 to indicate the present Eurocode 2 and the next generation of the Eurocode 2. Provisions specific to bridges are now grouped in Annex K of the Eurocode 2 version 2023, and the assessment of existing concrete structures is given in Annex I of Eurocode 2 2023. This was an important missing link or missing subject in the present Eurocode. In the version of 2004, we had in total of 4 parts. It was part 1.1, part 1.2, part 2, part 3, and that's it. In the new version 2023, we have only 3 parts. It is part 1.1 and part 1.2 and part 4. So don't look for part 2 and 3 in Eurocode 2 because they do not exist. Part 1.1 is the same as was previously. It's about general rules. Part 1.2 is structural fire design. It stays the same. When I say it stays the same, I don't mean the content. I only mean the topic stays the same. Then part 2, it was reinforced and precessed concrete bridges. This is part 2 is not existing anymore because it's replaced by Annex K of part 1.1. Part 3 of the Eurocode, liquid retaining and containing structures, is now included in part 1.1, Eurocode 2 part 1.1. In the new version of the Eurocode 2, part 4 is added, which is the design of fastenings for use in concrete. And this was not, it did not exist in the version of 2004 because this was described in different guidelines like ETAG and EOTA. Now, when we look at the different clauses, you will see that in the version of 2023, there are 14 main clauses or chapters. In the version of 2004, there were only 12 chapters. But be assured all items are covered, and we will see how it is done. So remember, this is only this overview is only meant to help you to locate the subject you are interested in. For instance, if you are used to look in chapter 3 of the present Eurocode for material properties, you will not find it in chapter 3 of the new version. So you will find it in chapter 5. That's why I give this overview. So you can locate your subject you are interested in. So let's start. The first thing is that chapter 1 of the version 2004 is now replaced by clause 1, 2, and 3. So they have split it up. So instead of general, we have now scope, normative references, and terms, definitions, and symbols. Part 2 of the version 2004, you can find it now in part 4, which is basis on design. Materials you will find now in clause 5 instead of 3. Durability and cover to reinforcement, it's now part 6 of clause 6 instead of 4. Structural analysis is now clause 7. Ultimate limit state is clause 8. But in ultimate limit state, in the version of 2004, there was a chapter 6.8 dealing with fatigue. This now is not there anymore in chapter 8, but moved into a separate chapter 10, which is only dealing with fatigue. So if you are looking for fatigue descriptions, don't look in the ultimate limit state, but go directly to clause 10. Serviceability limit state, clause 7 is now 9. Detailing of reinforcement is now clause 11. Detailing of members and particular rules is clause 12. Additional rules for precast concrete elements is now clause 13. And lightweight, plain and lightweight reinforced concrete is clause 14. You will see that the previous clause 11, lightweight aggregates and concrete structures, is not there anymore. It is replaced in Annex M of Eurocode 2 version 2023. There are now 19 annexes instead of 10. Annex A, it's more or less the same subject, not the content, of course, but only the subject. Annex B, the same, in the same subject. Annex C, more or less also the same, but Annex D is interesting. Annex D gives now an evaluation of early age and long-term cracking due to restraint, which was not previously there in the Eurocode 2004. Annex E deals with additional rules for fatigue verification. Annex F, safety formats for nonlinear analysis. And Annex G is dealing with the design of membrane, shell, and slab elements, which is also very interesting but difficult to apply. Annex H, which is the guidance on design of concrete structures for water tightness, it was previously dealt with in Eurocode 2 Part 3. Annex Y, assessment of existing structures, is new. J, Annex J, strengthening of existing concrete structures, is also new. We have seen that Annex K was for bridges, which replaces Eurocode 2 Part 2. And Annex L, steel fiber reinforced concrete structures. Annex M, lightweight aggregate concrete structures. This Annex M replaces clause 11 of Eurocode 2004. A new Annex N is recycled aggregates. And then Annex O is simplified approaches for second order effects, which is the same as Annex H of the previous code. Annex P is an interesting one because in the new version of Eurocode 2, there is a new approach to design for durability with uh, a concept like exposure resistance classes. When we do not want to use this new concept of exposure resistance classes for concrete, then you can go back to Annex P, which is in fact very similar in thought or very similar in method of the present Eurocode 2004, Section 4, Durability and Cover to Reinforcement. So this is very similar as a method Annex P because the use of exposure resistance classes can be difficult to apply in practice. Then we have Annex Q, which is new, stainless reinforcement steel, Annex R, embedded FRP reinforcement, and Annex S, it's informative and it gives you some formulas for minimum reinforcements for crack control and simplified control of cracking, but it is informative.